Bumble BFF date gone wrong. Hi everyone, I want to share a story that happened a little over a year ago, reminding everyone to be cautious when meeting strangers online. I'm a 24-year-old woman who moved across the country for the first time. I didn't know anyone in my new city, and my job didn't offer many opportunities to meet people. So, I downloaded Bumble BFF to make some friends. My first meetup went surprisingly well, so I decided to give it another shot and met a girl I'll call Amber, who was 22. Amber and I chatted for a few days before deciding to meet for brunch at a coffee shop. As she approached, I noticed she didn't quite look like her photos. It wasn't a huge difference, but enough to catch my attention. I brushed it off since it wasn't a real date, but it was my first red flag. Almost immediately, she began sharing some heavy personal stories. She mentioned that she didn't drive and had 2 young children. I struggled to get a word in, and as she dominated the conversation, I started thinking about how to politely leave. But since she didn't drive, I felt guilty about leaving her alone. Eventually, I told her I needed to use the restroom. She offered to walk with me, and we made our way across the outdoor mall to the restroom. While I was in the stall, I suddenly heard a child call out, "Mommy." When I opened the door, I was surprised to see her holding a toddler. I thought, where did this child come from? She seemed just as startled as I was. After introducing her child, who then hissed at me, I washed my hands and exited the bathroom. There, I saw a man with a stroller. Amber introduced him as her boyfriend, and he didn't seem very friendly. She encouraged me to say hello to the baby in the stroller. Hesitantly, I pulled back the cover, and the baby started crying, making me feel even more uncomfortable. I thanked her for meeting up and watched as she and her boyfriend walked off to their car. I knew she didn't drive, so I assumed her partner had brought her. But she never mentioned they were waiting for us or how they ended up at the same restroom. After they left, I started walking back across the mall, stopping to grab a pretzel. While waiting in line, I called a close friend to share the strange experience. As I sat down, I noticed Amber's boyfriend standing in line behind me. I felt horribly embarrassed. Although I didn't plan to see Amber again, I never intended to hurt anyone's feelings. When our eyes met, I felt a mix of confusion and embarrassment, so I decided to leave without my pretzel and headed toward my car. As I walked, I glanced back and saw her partner deliberately following me. My mind raced with questions. If he had been waiting the whole time, why hadn't he gotten something to eat? How did he know where I was? Was he going to confront me about my phone call? Every time I looked over my shoulder, he was still there. I started running through the mall, telling my friend on the phone that if I didn't call her back in 5 minutes, she should contact my spouse and the police. I finally reached my car, but I could see him storming through the parking lot after me. I sped away as fast as I could, my heart pounding in my ears. Once I was halfway home, I called my friend to let her know I was okay. When I got home, I told my spouse about the encounter and decided to delete my Bumble BFF account, blocking Amber on Snapchat, the only other social media I had shared with her. The next day, she found me on Instagram, which I hadn't given her. She sent me a message saying, "Hey girlie, I had a great time at brunch. We should all hang out again soon." I blocked her on Instagram as well, and thankfully, I haven't heard from her since. I still wonder what their intentions were, but I'm grateful I didn't stick around to find out.